Okay, now let's look at example 24. Figure below shows an electron entering a charged parallel plate with a speed of 5.45 exponent 6 meter per second. The electric field produced by the parallel plate has deflected the electron downward by a distance of 0.618 centimeter at the point where the electron exits. Determine the magnitude of the electric field and the speed of the electron when it exits the parallel plates. Okay, so we are given here parallel plates with 2.25 centimeter, and then we are given electron. Okay, so this one is under the case of moving a charge moving perpendicularly. So this one case number 2. Okay, so we have electron entering with a speed of 5.45 exponent 6 meter per second. And then when it enters, so this electron enters, it deflects towards the positive charge, and then they can exit the region with a certain velocity here. And then the distance from where it enters and where it exits is given here. Okay, so let's write down the information that we have first. So here we have the initial velocity. U is 5.45 exponent 6 meter per second. And then here we have Sx. So the distance from here to here is Sx 2.25 centimeter. Okay, convert to meter. And then from here to here is Sy. Okay, it's the y component for displacement, which is 0.618 centimeter. So convert to meter. Okay, so these are the information that we are given. Okay, so first question, we want to find what is electric field, the magnitude of electric field. Okay, so we only need the magnitude. Okay, so how do we find this magnitude? Okay, so since information yang kita ada dekat sini adalah in terms of kinematics, kita boleh dapat masukkan this one in the kinematics formula, right? So electric field dekat sini, okay, kita akan keluarkan dahulu formula yang kita tahu tentang electric field. So first formula yang kita tahu is F is equal to QE. Okay, force is equal to charge times with electric field. And since this one is under the case number 2, kita ada projectile motion, meaning that we involve the acceleration. So force juga adalah sama dengan mass times with acceleration. Okay, so from here, okay, kita boleh nampak dekat sini QE is equal to MA. So electric field, we can get it from A di sini, daripada acceleration. So acceleration is equal to QE divided by M. So in order to find this acceleration, okay, kita keluarkan dahulu formula. So apa formula yang paling senang yang ada relation dengan acceleration? It will be the either, actually tiga-tiga formula ada acceleration, right? Okay, so since kita ada Sy di sini, ada displacement. So kita keluarkan formula untuk displacement, which is S, since dia adalah Sy is equal to Uyt plus 1/2 At square. So from here, what we want is the value for acceleration. So Sy kita ada, Uy is equal to 0. Okay, Uy adalah kosong. Sebab when the charge enter, dia hanya enter going like this, right? So Uy will be equal to 0. So U dekat sini akan sama dengan Ux. And then acceleration is what we want, but we don't have value for t. So kita tiada value untuk time pula. So how do we find this time? Okay, So kita boleh keluarkan formula untuk Sx pula. So untuk Sx, it is equal to Uxt. Since kita ada Ux, so U yang dibagi adalah sama dengan Ux. So from here we can get the value for T. So masukkan 2.25 exponent negative 2. Ux is 5.45 exponent 6. And then T. So times sama dengan 4.13 exponent negative 9 second. So from here, we substitute into here 0.618 exponent negative 2 equal to 1/2 A 4.13 exponent negative 9. Don't forget the square. Okay, so from here, okay, we learn in semester 1 SY, since dia adalah ke bawah kan, we learn that we need to include the negative 1 sebab dia adalah going downwards from the initial point. Initial point dia adalah dekat sini. Okay, so should be dekat sini kita kena letakkan negative. But actually in this chapter, the negative here is not very significant. Okay, kita tidak perlu masukkan negatif pun tidak apa sebenarnya. Sebab dalam soalan ni, we want to find electric field. So remember electric field, if we want to find electric field, we don't need to include the sign of the charge. So in the end, kita tidak perlu pun masukkan sign of charge dekat sini. So negative in this here, this negative, we can just ignore. Tapi let me just put it right now, just not to confuse you. So dekat sini pun sepatutnya ada negative kan, because the motion is going downward like this. Okay, but in the end the negative value will cancel out. So A dekat sini will be equal to 7.246 exponent 14 meter per second square. And then barulah kita boleh substitute dekat sini in order to find the value for E. So A is equal to QE divided by M. Okay, before that, in this case we have electron, right? So you need to know what is the value for electron. Apa charge untuk electron? So this one kamu kena tengok dekat list of constant. So untuk electron, charge dia adalah 1.6 exponent negative 19 coulomb. And mass untuk electron adalah 9.11 exponent negative 31 kg. So this one kamu kena tengok list of constants. So kalau dia cakap proton, tengoklah the value, the mass for the proton, what is the value. Okay, so electron dia adalah negative, so we don't need to include the negative charge, the negative sign here. So just masukkan 7.246 exponent 14 equal to Q, and E is what we want. So this one 19 divided by the mass, and then we get the electric field is equal to 4125.7 Newton per coulomb. Okay, so this one is the first one, the magnitude of electric field. Okay, next one, the speed of the electron when it exits the parallel plates. Okay, so apabila the electron exit like this, so we will have value for V. So here we need to resolve into two components, Vx and Vy. Okay, so soalan B, we want to find what is the value for B. Okay, keluarkan dahulu formula untuk Vx dan Vy. How do we find Vx? How do we find Vy? Okay, so Vx adalah sama dengan Ux, right? Since AY adalah, sorry, not AY, AX adalah kosong untuk projectile motion. So Vx is equal to Ux. So kita sudah ada Vx, which is 5.45 exponent 6 meter per second. Now we want to find Vy. How do we find Vy? Okay, Vy, we can get it from the formula uy square plus 2as sy. Or we can also get it from Vy is equal to uy plus ayt. So we can use either one of this equation. Uy dekat sini akan jadi sama dengan kosong. So we left with Vy is equal to this one. Vy is equal to this one. So mana-mana pun kita gunakan akan dapat jawapan yang sama. So I want to use this one lah. Vy is equal to ay. Ay kita sudah dapatkan tadi, which is this one here. 7.246 exponent 14. And then times with the time. Time tadi kita sudah dapat this one here. 4.13 exponent 19. So Vy kamu akan dapat 2.99 exponent 6 meter per second. Okay, sorry, I forgot here should be negative. It should be negative here. Because obviously from this diagram, Vy is going downward. So kamu akan dapat negative, Vx akan jadi positive because it's going to the right. So Vy akan jadi negative 2.99 exponent 6. Okay, let me double check first. Okay, sorry, this one here should be 9 only, not 19. 9. Negative 9, sorry. Okay, so you should get this value here. And then in order to find V, you just need to find the magnitude. Okay, so V will be equal to Vx square plus Vy square. And then just masukkan Vx square plus Vy and then V will be equal to 6.22 exponent 6 meter per second. Okay, do we need to find the angle? Okay, we don't need to find the angle since soalan minta the speed, cannot velocity.